Hey, welcome to my channel. We're doing a Sims 4 speed build today. This is originally streamed on Twitch, but I've sped it up and I'm going to do a little bit of voiceover for you today. So we are building a Victorian style family home. We were kind of thinking a little bit of a renovation, like there's been a couple different owners that have renovated different pieces throughout it, but the original kind of shell of the home is intact. So that's kind of what the plan was today. It ended up being pretty on par to what we kind of thought we were going to do. I didn't really have a super plan. I had a couple reference images just for trying to figure out what I'm doing with the style, but nothing super. It is based primarily on a picture I found on the internet, but we ended up changing a lot of things in the floor plan I did on my own. So we're just doing the outside here, getting kind of the general style going in. We did use a couple packs on this. We've got some vampire stuff, some get-together stuff, and things like that. The house is really good for having family play in it because it is expandable. You can add an upper floor underneath the roof, potentially, because we do have that fake third floor there with the little tower on it, and then there is space for a basement as well if you're wanting it. So it's a great family house. So yeah, and it's got a couple balconies and things like that on it as well. So definitely just dilly-daddling around with getting posts and columns and everything. We originally thought of getting the house as a pink house, but it just ended up not working. The inside I kept doing as green, and that's just what it wanted to be. So I was also trying to use the freezes that come with the Sims 4, like all the base game ones, because I was like, this will be great, and they just are awful. Trying to get them in any kind of under any roof in the part you want just sucks. So we ended up, I think we used the high school years ones because they were the only ones that didn't clip through the roof. Like, that's just such an oversight on Sims part. Like, I can't believe that they haven't thought of that, not clipping through the roof. But anyways, it's fine. We ended up using the high school years ones, and then we're getting in with some windows and stuff now. I had a really hard time trying to figure out what to put where, and the reason really why is because nothing matches, which if you've played The Sims 4 in build mode for more than 10 minutes, you realize that unless you're building in white or very specific blacks, you're not getting anywhere. So everything just is difficult in The Sims to build with sometimes. I wish they would really fix that, get more matching stuff, especially for some of the base game items. Like, some of the base game windows don't even have any matching doors or anything like that. So we are putting pink on it, but we're going to change the pink out for a greener later on in the video. And we're getting all the backyard and everything done. So we've got a nice big patio on the backyard and a nice front porch and then a little awning on the front. So, and then we've got a nice cute little side door too into the kitchen. And then, yeah, so I generally when I'm building don't put windows on the sides of the houses, or I just put them in spots I think they're gonna go, because it's kind of hard to tell until you have a floor plan. Like, you don't want a massive window looking into a bathroom. I mean, like, I try to keep things realistic when I'm building in The Sims. I know nobody's like peeping Tom in bathrooms in The Sims, but to me, I just want to make sure like it makes sense pretty much. So just finishing up the roof here. Fiddled a lot with the floor plan of this build just because I wanted the primary suite to have a ensuite bathroom, and I wanted it to have a patio to itself, and then the other patio on the top floor to be kind of a public space. And I wanted everything to be really separated in a very traditional Victorian kind of way, is that, you know, every room, or even older houses, every room is one thing. So they're not a lot of open floor plans. So the floor plan was a little bit of a struggle, me trying to figure it out. I tried a couple different things to make it work. The stairs kind of thwarped me in a couple places, but I ended up figuring it out with the primary bedroom at the back of the house, having 3 additional bedrooms, which is more than I thought I was going to get. I thought I was only going to have 3 total bedrooms and not 4, but that was super. And then we have a study, and then a separate dining area and a nice big living area. So it's definitely worked out for the better. Trying to fiddle with the stairs too can be a real big pain, trying to get things the way you want them, but it ended up working out. There was a couple little floor plan things I ended up switching around as it went on, just for sense of the flow of the the house. Like, we ended up moving the stairs and I have this weird little gap in the upstairs lobby that I was like gonna put flowers and stuff in, but I was like, this is stupid. Why not just make the bedroom bigger? That just makes more sense to me. But yeah, so we're kind of heading into just floor plan and then decorating here. We're trying to get some windows set up so that they make logical sense, making sure everything's lined up, and then figuring out the ways to get in and out of rooms. So I ended up making it originally as the dining room. The only way to get in and out of it was through the kitchen, which I thought was really dumb. So I ended up moving the stairs around, which makes that really awkward gap on the second floor that I was talking about, that we end up just adding as additional space to the primary bedroom later. And it ended up working. We have the front porch is kind of the kids area, and then the back porch area on the second floor for the primary suites kind of area. They have their own little private patio that looks over the backyard, and then the downstairs back door exit is through the living room, and then we have another door in the kitchen. So it worked out. It's a little bit of an awkward floor plan, just the way that I built the house, but not every house is going to have a beautiful floor plan, especially a house that's been renovated a bunch of times, right? You're going to have houses that, you know, change over time, and the needs change over time, and things are going to change. So I really wanted to use the vampire counters, and I couldn't figure out which ones to use. And this is where I make the decision to make the house green. Well, I made the counters green, and then it just grew from there. So trying to get it nice, and I was also trying to make this house very cluttered. Like, not like cluttered like nobody's taking care of it, but like a family's actually lived there. So I've got like keys on the back counter and like some shoes and stuff on the floor. You know, you've got some things around. The kind of the lore for this family is it's like two parents, and then they have three children. So they have the oldest daughter, who's kind of a girly girl. She likes pink and flowers and things like that. I imagine her as a very social butterfly kind of girl. And then they have a child sim that is a boy and is very like spacey and sciencey. It could also be a girl too. The room's blue. That doesn't mean anything. It could be a girl sim as well that is very into science and things like that. And then they have the youngest child. I made it an infant, and that room has just a lot of like little infancy stuff. So it's got like animals and things like that I think an infant would like. I mean, like, infants don't have a lot of personality, but this is me fighting with the cups, trying to get the cups in the sink. That was so difficult to try to figure out the right level. But like, how many homes do you go into and there's not something in the sink, right? Like, I don't know if that makes it unplayable, but I thought it looked cute for the kind of general idea of the room. But yeah, just kind of coming into the kitchen, and we're coming up to the point too where I try to make the walls like a neutral color so I can keep things going in the other areas. And like, we're trying to go through Victorian old school is definitely not my style. I'm definitely more of a modern girl builder, but I was trying to make it look good and follow the theme and follow the story. So we ended up doing like a little accent wall with a dark green with the bricks, the kind of bricks on the other walls, and it ended up looking pretty good. I really like this kitchen. It's very unique. It's not something that I've built a lot before, but definitely works. And then we've got our little downstairs bathroom here that we're going into now that kind of doubles as a utility closet. We have like a broom, and we have some extra clutter and things like that around it. So we ended up just sticking with the green here. It just made the most sense in the long term. Use some of the high school years flooring there just to make it look like maybe they haven't redone this bathroom in a while. And getting the half walls in as well. And there's lots of clutter in this room. I imagine that this utility room kind of has some, like, there's a lot of things in it. They have all their cleaning supplies in it. You know, they have all of their stuff, like their mop and broom and cleaning supplies. And this is kind of like a little bit of a room that's forgotten for cleaning in the grand scheme of the house. Because I imagine that there's a lot of things happening in this house. With 5 Sims in it, you're busy. So it's kind of a little bit of a dump room. We got a laundry basket and stuff in there too. And then we're heading upstairs to the kids' bathroom. So I was trying to figure out a layout for this that made the most sense because I wanted to get a shower and a tub in. And then I realized that this room would be perfect for like a wet room and a dry room. So that's kind of what I've done, is put like the little shower stall in there, the university one, and then the bathtub. So we got like a wet room, and then we've got the dry room. And I also tried to put a lot of character into this room as well, just something that makes a lot of sense, right? You're having the kids in there, especially I can like imagine, you have the older daughter who's more, she's more clean and organized, and you have the younger kids that are kind of a mess. So put the little clothes there. I was trying to find a sink that made logical sense because I wanted something that had storage, but it just was not happening. So we ended up just putting some storage between the sink and the toilet, and putting some little things around, some towels, things like that, the toothbrushes, just things to make like the house look lived in, was the general idea of the whole thing. And I was really trying to put a shelf above the toilet, but it's such a small space because I alt placed the toilet over that it just was not happening. So it ended up being a picture, and it ended up being fine. So, and we ended up actually getting a window in this bathroom, so that's nice. If it's a little stinky in there, you can open up a window. We put candles downstairs as well, so, you know, just make it look normal. This one, it's just very like, we've got the towels and the robes and everything. And then we're just heading over to the primary bathroom as well now, trying to make this one look like it maybe has been renovated at some point, but my idea was that it was renovated probably 30 years ago. Like, it's been a bit since it's been renovated, but so it's not like the most modern thing you'll ever see, but at least we're kind of newer. So I imagine like they probably would have painted tiles instead of replaced things, kind of like fixing that up. So we use the same wallpaper as the other rooms as well with that green, but we just changed it to white. So they like just painted these tiles, tried to make this bathroom look a little bit better, and like maybe replace the cabinets and the sink and stuff like that, but nothing crazy. Like I can't imagine they're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars fixing this. So yeah, and their bathroom, the parents' bathroom, is a little bit more clean. We've got our towels and our robes and things like that in there. Just the normal kind of clutter, a little bit of stuff in there, the little soaps and things, just things you would have on your counter. And they definitely got a really nice bathroom. It's nice and big, so lots of space to do stuff. So, and I ended up accidentally moving the soap from one sink to the other, alt placing it, and that kind of annoyed me a little bit, but it's fine. And then we got it all sorted. So generally how I build is I build in order of the by room placement. It just has always been how I've built. So I do kitchen first, and then bathrooms, bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, studies, extras is kind of always how I've done it. And then that kind of helps me figure out, like, the kitchen's kind of your main place that you're going to be having a family. So it kind of gives you an idea of like what the house will be like. And then by the time you get to the bedrooms, you really get like what the family needs. So at this point I was like, yeah, this family definitely is like a little niche. So I put some colorful wallpaper in the like primary bedroom, kind of getting all that going. Having older furniture, like I imagine maybe this house was inherited, or they've like got a lot of inherited furniture, they've antiqued a lot, that kind of thing. That's kind of their style. So I mean, it's either they got this house and that's kind of what it is, or it's just a new thing for them and they really like it. So just trying to make like a little sitting area in the corner here for the parents to have a little getaway from the kids, something like that. But yeah, and I was trying to get books in there, and it just ended up not working, so I just used the fake books instead of the actual bookshelf because I thought it looked a little bit nicer. Just some plants around as well. Again, like, busy family, I can't imagine that they're taking care of a lot of plants, so I tried not to go nutty. Also putting curtains on the door, because that's really the only window in that bedroom is the big door, so that would be where all your light was coming in. And then I'm just trying to decide here which room's which. So we're going into the nursery now, or the infant's room, and just kind of getting all that done. Trying to decide what the vibes are of this room. So we ended up going with the older furniture again, or the older style furniture again, and just trying to get this area having a little bit of character. So this room definitely has been something that's been redone, at least somewhere recently. We've got some stuff in there, like some tables, the changing table, all the infant needs, but we've also got some toys and things in there that an infant would never use, but it at least makes it more lived in, right? Like you could just put a crib in there and that would be pretty much good, right? But that's kind of boring. Oh, I lied. I did put another window in there because I realized there's no windows in the parents' bedroom. So yeah, just throwing some toys down, getting some kind of options for everything here. Obviously the infant items I tried to put priority over, and then just kind of throwing some other things. The Blarfy, classic Blarfy, a little lamp, just getting everything kind of nice and lived in. That's really what I wanted to make in this house, is it looks realistic. And then one of my favorite tricks to do when building is to up and downsize these pictures, because they've got the set of 3, so it makes a little nice gallery wall that looks very cute. I had a heck of a time trying to figure out curtains and things for this house because I was just gravitating to the same ones everywhere. And logically that makes sense, like you buy them in bulk, but I didn't want to have every room look the same. So I was trying to use different colors and things, like they've dyed them over the years or changed things, putting all the toys on the table, just trying to make everything look like it's actually, you know, lived, and the kids got toys on the counter and things like that. And then trying to find the wallpaper, we definitely decided to go a little bit crazy with the wallpaper, get those tigers in there. It just seems realistic for a baby's room. And now we're heading into the middle child's room. So we were originally going to go with rainbows and then changed to go to space. And I fell in love with this little ram. I've never actually seen it before. I never come across it. So I instantly was like, we need to have this ram. I don't care what we're doing the ram. So we ended up making a couple changes to this room as we're going along, but we go to the space idea, and then that kind of led us along the path of like, this kid's probably pretty smart, so we'll get like the science table and some toys and things like that. I also put the doctor's toy, I think, somewhere in the house, just to, because I imagine that's definitely something. I'm just pulling out everything that I think I would want in the room. Ended up upsizing the little robot. Yeah, I put the little doctor's toy in there, just to have like a little toy, like a Blarfy, but not quite the same thing. And then we got some sciencey posters on the wall, some things that they'd probably like, just little rocket ship, things like that kind of show off the kids' personality as well. So, and then for this room, I was having a little bit of a hard time deciding what I wanted to do for wallpaper, because I want each of the kids' rooms to have their own kind of identity. But we ended up going with the little hexagon things in blue, which was a lot, so I ended up changing 2 of the walls down to just a normal kind of plain blue color. And then we used the little ram as the side table, which I thought was super cute. It's a little stool, but it works. And then we got that no nightmares light, because children having nightmares sucks. So yeah, and then we're heading up into the oldest girl's room, or the oldest Sim's room, where it's very girly and flowery and things like that. We ended up moving things around a lot because I was trying to get a lot of use out of this little room. Like, we wanted to have all the things you would need, but also lots of things that are like interesting, giving the room personality. So we ended up making her a painter as well. She just gives me the vibes that she's very down to earth and like that kind of thing. That was what this room kind of ended up being. So we ended up using a lot of the Plumbella's kit as well, and that I really like. I just think it is such a good pack. There's so many things in it that are just, they fit really well together. They're very unique from the rest of the game. So we ended up changing some things around too. The curtains I ended up moving because they were kind of in a weird spot clipping with each other. And then I realized she didn't have a dresser, so I wanted to make sure she had that. So I moved some things around, tried this plant. This plant was just not fitting the vibe, so I ended up switching it out a little bit. And then we got a dresser in for her as well. And then I love the windows, like the mirrors on here. That's from the Decor to the Max kit, I think. They're just so much fun. And then out here in the kind of lobby area, I use it as a bit of a playroom for the kids, having a little study area as well as just a play area for them to come out. I did also put a desk out here with a computer so that the kids can use it, and once this infant grows up a little bit more, I'm sure they'll want it as well for schoolwork and things like that. And then I put some reading stuff in here as well, a little chair, just an area kind of for them to hang out. And yeah, some toys, things like that. Some things on the floor, just lived in. And then I realized that this area that I had originally planned on putting flowers in was just silly, so I ended up just moving everything around and making the parents' bedroom a little bit larger. And then trying to just decide what I'm going to do for all of the walls, and we ended up going with this nice little green that I think is definitely kind of old school, but it's really nice. It's really nice and light. So we're heading off into the living room now. This area was a little bit of a struggle because I couldn't decide if I wanted furniture that looks like it's from the original house or updated. And some of the things that would match this style aren't very pretty. So I ended up having to fiddle around a lot with that, getting rid of some windows on the outside just to make the room look a little bit bigger. So we ended up with 2 sections, having like a TV watching section and a little bit more of a conversation section of the living room. The way that this door ended up too, being right in the middle of the room, kind of made it awkward to build around, but it worked. So we got the old school stereo. This all ends up being moved around too a bunch of times, trying to make the floor plan look and feel the most logical. For the rest of the build, I'm gonna let you watch the time lapse with a little bit of music, and I'll see you at the end. Well, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe to my channel. And I do also stream on Twitch as well, under Lunar Rabbits, if you're wanting to come join us for the Twitch streams. Thanks so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.